All right, joining me now to talk more about all of this and beyond, Democratic Congressman Denny Heck from Washington. He is a member of the House Intelligence Committee. So what's your reaction to Donald Trump's latest tweet about Michael Flynn being fired because he was lying to both the vice president and the FBI, contrary to, as Walter Schaub was, underscoring there, the president before, really implying that he was fired only because he lied to the vice president?
Well, I find it all a little Orwellian, frankly, Frederica, but at the end of the day, and I'm not much given to hyperbole, this town drowns in hyperbole, but we very well may look back on this plea bargain deal by Michael Flynn as the beginning of the end of the Trump administration. And I say that because of the facts here. And here are the facts. We now have 4 people from the Trump administration or the campaign who have been indicted or pled guilty to felonies, 2 of whom are at the very highest levels of the Trump campaign or administration. One, Mr. Manafort, the former chair of the campaign, and now Michael Flynn, who was the national security advisor, arguably the most sensitive national security post in all of the federal government. The fact is, these are felons now for all practical purposes. This is a serious crime punishable by up to 5 years in prison. Fact. Things that we know, not things that we think. Bob Mueller would have never agreed to this if he did not think that Michael Flynn had a whole lot more to offer. Indeed, it was Michael Flynn's lawyer who said on March 31st that Michael Flynn has a story to tell and he very much wants to tell it, and he's about to tell it. Fact, we are now a half step away from the president himself. We're in the White House in the form of the national security advisor, and as has been implicated in the plea deal, we're at the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. These are the facts, Frederica.
Now, the Mueller team, presumably, especially after this tweet from the president, now want to be asking, why was the president protecting Flynn if at the time the president knew that Flynn lied to the FBI, which is what his latest tweet is inferring? So how can this now direct or redirect the Mueller investigation, not just asking Flynn, not just potentially asking Jared Kushner, but perhaps even directly asking the president himself what he knew and when did he know it?
Yeah, we're very well going to get to that point, but the truth of the matter is I have a lot of confidence in Director Mueller. This thing has proceeded apace. I'm frankly quite surprised that only 6-7 months into it that he's come as far as he has, as fast as he has. But Bob Mueller is a pro. He is widely respected across both political parties and all political philosophies for the professional that he is, and he's done nothing but demonstrate that thus far.
Are you at all concerned because of the track record that the president has, even as the candidate, how he continues to defend and the allegiance he would seem to show toward a Michael Flynn? Is it your concern at all that preemptively, before this investigation were to end or come anywhere close to it, that this president just might pardon Michael Flynn even after he has pled guilty for lying to the FBI, but before the investigation could be complete?
Well, I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned for America, frankly. I think what we're going through right now represents an existential threat to the health of our democracy. But the fact of the matter is, whether or not the president pardons Mr. Flynn and others involved, that does not exempt them from prosecution under state laws, and there are plenty at work here as well. So, no, I don't think that the people who have committed crimes are going to end up being exempt from the accountability that they so richly deserve, frankly.
All of this, I think most people agree, it's all just so messy. So what's your understanding as to why there would be so many Republicans on Capitol Hill who, given the president's credibility problem thus far, would still be willing, if not eager, to push the president's agenda forward?
So I don't think that you can paint them all with the same brush.
Of those Republicans that are pushing for the president's agenda, and those are the ones I'd be referring to in this question.
Sure. But it's important to note that that's not all of them. There are some Republicans who have spoken out publicly, and they should be acknowledged for that. There are some, frankly,
Flake, Corker,
Republicans
yes.
who will speak about it privately, but not yet publicly, but know what's going on here. And then there are others that won't do so either publicly or privately, but probably in their own consciences know better. And then there are others who just don't frankly get it. And in that instance, I think it's clearly an instance where ideology and their point of view about the necessity of some of these policies trumps everything else, pun intended.
Funny. All right, Congressman Denny Heck, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, more on this.